Well, this is it. It's time for us to say goodbye to the Zero, everybody. Been a good run. Been a good run. I say it's been a good run. It's realistically only been like a couple of months. It might be the shortest lived vehicle. Matter of fact, I know it is. This is the shortest lived vehicle on the channel. I'm gonna go return it to WoW and trade it for a different motorcycle. And you guys will see that in the next video. You're not gonna know about that in today's video, but it's something fucking cool. And I'll tell you what, it's not electric. Let's waste no time. Let's get going. How about that? What is going on, everybody? It's the internet's favorite dildo, Do It With Dildo, and we're back at it again on another moto vlog. And today we're on the Zero, and we're on our last ride for the Zero. I'm officially trading it in today. I'm picking up a new motorcycle, and you guys will see that in the next video, but I figured today would be a perfect day to give our final closing thoughts on the Zero. My honest opinion, right? I've had it for a little while, and it's been fun for a few reasons. Oh my God. Oof. Whoa. All right. Like that. All right, here we go. Well, oh, fuck. Yo, I just randomly put it in some mode that says fast AF. I don't know if I did that through custom settings or if that's like one of the updates that I downloaded or what, but Jesus, man. Jesus. This one thing that is not waned about this motorcycle is just how fast it is, right? Woo! Oh my gosh. So, again, this bike is probably the quickest disappearing vehicle on my channel. While it's probably the quickest vehicle in general on the channel, it's the quickest bike that I've ever gotten and then gotten rid of. And let's talk about that, right? First things first, I think the electric motorcycle, awesome, fun platform, right? I've had a lot of fun with it. There is a lot of novelty to owning an electric vehicle that I'm learning, which is the acceleration, like the brutal acceleration. That's pretty nutty. That and like the carefree of it, you know, for me to hop on this thing right up to the gym, right up to the street to go grab some food, you know, and like not have to worry about gas or like maintenance or anything like that. That aspect of it was relatively nice. I enjoyed that aspect of it. But that novelty did wear off, I don't want to say immediately. After like 2 or 3 like rides of owning it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm done. And that's the crazy part, right? Like I was like, oh, dude, having an electric motorcycle is so cool. It's so fast. And I thought for sure I was going to be able to convince other people that that was the case. And it wasn't. Ooh, slammed FRC. C5. Very nice. Just loading the front suspension up with the accelerate. That's cool. Okay, we better all be turning right here. Hey, look, we're gay together, Tesla guy. That is kind of fun, that preload. Just kind of like put it up on its own back tire. Look at that. That's cool. I don't know. It feels interesting. Bruh. Your first day out driving? Yeah, I feel you. I dropped my bike a couple times. No big deal. Yeah, to be honest, the novelty wore off pretty quick, you know? And that's, I don't want to say that's to be expected. I just didn't expect it to happen so fast. But like I said, I enjoyed the bike. I still enjoy it. I'll never turn down the opportunity to ride an electric motorcycle because of how specifically fun they are. And I said it in my video where I was talking about if this bike was gay or not. How brilliant the technology there is behind it. There is a lot of technology behind this bike, which does make it fun to ride. It makes it, you know, enjoyable. And to be honest, I think there's really only 2 major downsides to this motorcycle that I will harp on, and that's the rain. I'm not gonna wave at you. You almost got me, dude. Like, I'm not that gay, dude. And we got to take it kind of easy, you know. I kind of fucked up the charger, the actual physical charging cable for this thing. I got to buy a new one for a while. It's my bad. I used an extension cord. Didn't know you weren't supposed to. Oh, I got the wheelie up just a little bit. I got the wheel up just a little bit on that loop. The bike's fun. It's enjoyable to ride. It's comfortable. There is something missing, though. And I do believe that an engine noise is a part of the ride. Now, nobody's going to believe me when I tell people that I do believe that... Oh, no, don't let this beaver run out in front of me. You dumbass beaver, get back in. I'll fuck you up. I'll beat the shit out of your beaver. Giggity. It's a pleasure, man. It's like riding without engine noise. It does feel like a more pure experience, especially if you're gonna do the whole no music thing. I know a lot of people don't ride with music because they're like, oh, it brings up the experience. Shut up, nerd. If I can't listen to DMX, is X gonna give it to you while doing 150 in between cop cars down I-95? I don't fucking want it, bro. But like I said, it's got two major downfalls. The recharge time is a big one, right? That's the biggest one for me. At home, through a regular wall outlet, it's about 8 hours to do a full charge. I'd say between 6 and 8, depending on your outlets and the charger that you're using, but my experience has been somewhere between 6 to 8 hours. And you really only, and the other problem is kind of tied to that one, which is the range. This thing's really only good for about 60, 65 miles before it runs out of juice, literally, right? Before it literally runs out of juice. And that's neither here nor there, right? Like 60 miles ain't shit. My Magna pissing fuel through the carburetors and not running good gets like 100 to 130 miles on a tank. So I don't think that this thing is like a very good rider bike, right? Like the Zero's not a good rider's motorcycle. You can't go very far. You can fast charge them. Fast charging's like a 20 to 50 minute thing, depending on where you go as well. But like, dude, then you're sitting, if it's hot, right? A lot of these chargers in the middle of fucking nowhere. The last thing you want to do is sit around in the heat and wait for your bike to fucking charge. Versus like, it couldn't be the more polar opposite for a gas vehicle. It takes you like 30 seconds from start to finish to fill up a motorcycle and then go about your business. And those two experiences are non-comparable. You can't compare an electric motorcycle to a gas motorcycle because of those two huge factors that apply to riders, man. Oh my God. Did I not bring my fucking wallet or my keys? Holy shit. I didn't bring my wallet or my keys. Fuck. I need both of those, I think. How did I forget that? Well, we better turn around before we get like super far, you know. We only got 55, fuck, we only get 55 miles of range on this thing. All right, we're gonna have to change this thing to eco. Better watch yourself, bitch. Now I gotta go back. Thankfully, we're not super far. See, simple shit like that, where you could just stop by a gas station, it ain't as simple like that no more, is it? So now we're playing gamble my miles away. But we got the regen on high. We got an eco mode. This should net us enough to get to the house, grab the shit that we need, and then get back to WoW. So, you know, range anxiety is a real thing. I'm not saying that we don't have a good enough infrastructure to support something like this. It could be a lot better. It's not as convenient as gas stations. And I truly think like the biggest limiting factor right now is batteries. I think everybody understands that. I don't think lithium is the way to go. Lithium is super volatile, it's expensive, it's hard to get a hold of, and it's nasty, bro. It's a nasty material. We all know this. It's what powers everything that we have right now. Substantially not better, and it's a pretty good bit worse for the environment than like burning of fossil fuels, especially if something like that blows up. Oof. That's rough shit, dude. It is rough shit. I think what we'll see, there's a couple of alternatives I think that we're going to see to electric vehicles. I think the one and done electric batteries are going to be a thing of the past, right? To like, for instance, like a Tesla, I don't know what it's like on this, it can't be great, but replacing a battery in a Tesla, it is not fun, it's not cheap, it's not easy. Because they got to, and like the Teslas, they got to replace the whole fucking under tray batteries. I think probably hydrogen cells, that's a good one, you know? Hydrogen is probably a solid future aspect, like where you can just replace the cells in the vehicle. You drop them off at a charging station, like a propane tank, you know? Yo, eco mode fucking sucks, bro. I don't think having a double back to the house is gonna kill us, but I think it's certainly gonna add a fun layer to this ride. I think the biggest problem you're gonna have is convincing most people to hop on board, right? And you guys know me, I don't like EVs. I'm not like a EV butt boy. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, oh, I love EVs. I think EVs are fucking annoying, and I think the owners are fucking annoying. All right, well, let's try this again. I've got everything on me. My wallet, my keys, my phone, things that I need. Take 2 electric boogaloo. Perfect, now it's starting to get hot. We're going to keep it in eco mode all the way there and see if we can actually make a difference on this range, because we left with like 55 miles of range, something like that, 55, I believe, 55, 60. And we're only down to 54, and I know I've traveled more than 4 miles. So we'll see. We'll see. The last, like, couple of yards, I'll crank it into go fast mode, probably, just to say goodbye to it. Like I was saying earlier, man, I don't think we're going to see a huge increase in performance, or rather, I would say in charge times and stuff like that, till we can get away from the traditional plug-and-play method of charging. Being able to hot swap a battery, now that's probably something a little bit more realistic long-term. But having like a swappable battery, you know, you pop the old battery in a charging station, you put the new battery in, have all vehicles use the same battery system. I mean, I think that's a good way to go. Can I make that? I might could. I ain't gonna though. You fucking kidding me, bro? I'm not missing this light twice today. Let's go. Come on. So once we get that technology all situated where we can swap out batteries or just mediate the refueling process, right, or the recharging process, then I think we'll see a big shift. But even then, I think you're going to have a hard time forcing all this technology down people's throats. I definitely prefer manual connections to things versus like fly-by-wire. But people act like that's not in every vehicle that's made nowadays. A lot of car companies are getting rid of power steering for electrical steering. You know, obviously there hadn't been carburetors for a very long time because of emissions, right? So anything EFI, are you gonna worry about riding your electric motorcycle in the apocalypse, or maybe the government takes too much oversight and shuts down your vehicle? I hate to tell you this, man, it can happen to any vehicle. They could probably do it to my diesel. They could probably do it to my dually. You know, it's got OnStar. It's equipped with OnStar from the factory. OnStar can shut your vehicle down. It's part of their anti-theft control, right? So if OnStar can do it, the government can. Big government. We're doing all right on the range. I think we're going to make it a wow with plenty of charge in the tank. The tank? The battery? Whatever you want to call it. Whatever this liberal sissy bullshit is. I will say, you know, I made a joke saying that you guys bullied me into selling the EV. That is not the case. That's not why I'm actually selling it. Or getting rid of it, swapping it, I should say. The real reason is just because I think I want something gas-powered, man. Don't get me wrong. Y'all's opinion does affect my opinion, right? Because, like, this is still technically a part of my job. This is work, giggity, if you will. So, like, if you guys fucking hate something, you guys find no joy in something that I'm doing, it does affect me. So your opinion does affect certain things. But ultimately, your opinion is not what's swaying me to sell this thing. No, it's just, it's not what I thought it was going to be. It's not that it's all that it's cracked up to be. And it doesn't mean that I wouldn't own another one in the future. What the fuck is this guy doing? I think the weirdest thing for me has, like, being unable to convince people that this thing is cool. I hope I changed a couple of minds. Because I do, like I said, I do genuinely think that it's it's well built, the quality is there. The price is a little insane. I think out the door these things are like 17 to 20, somewhere around there, depending on which package. That's absurd. You can buy a Ninja H2 with mods for cheaper than that, if we're just comparing apples to oranges, right? And I think everybody would prefer to have the latter, right? Everyone would rather have the H2, including me. But it's so weird. I've never fought such an uphill battle. Like, I usually feel like I can convince people one way or another on certain things if I come at them with a good enough attitude. Like, I know a lot of Ford guys who don't like Chevy that have seen my stuff over the years, specifically with the C8, who are like, I fucking hate C8s. I don't like them at all, but yours is sick, right? I feel like I'm really good at convincing other people, like, hey, don't surface level this shit, all right? This is deeper if you look at it, especially when it comes to vehicles. And I after a couple of months of that, I genuinely don't think that I can do that. I don't think I can A, justify keeping the bike, and I don't think I can B, convince you guys it's an excellent motorcycle, which I get. I totally understand. Honestly, I'm on the same page with a lot of the stuff as you guys are. I really am. But I will never just blindly hate or dislike something because everyone else does. So, like, I'm all about giving things an honest-to-God shot. And I feel like I gave the Zero an honest-to-God shot. And I still think it's a cool motorcycle. But I can't justify having it over what I'm getting. You guys will be like, huh. Now that, you talk about what I'm getting is different than pretty much any other motorcycle that I've ever had on the channel. It's similar in a lot of ways, but it's different. Same, but different. I also have a pretty long day ahead of me. I'm doing this video, then I'm going to WOW and doing a review on one of their motorcycles, and then I'm signing all the paperwork and getting my new motorcycle, riding that home. So it's a lot of riding. A lot of riding for me today. Who would have guessed that the Ford would be going quick? I'm in it. didn't even take the fucking temporary tag off of this thing. That's how short of a term that I've had this motorcycle. It still has the WOW temp tag on the back. Okay. We've lost about 10 miles of range in the past 2 miles. Interesting. Maybe we won't just glide into WOW with a bunch of miles on the tank. The bike does have its perks over traditional gas vehicles, right? Like obviously the acceleration, bananas. The convenience of being able to like refill it at your house, that is also convenient. I never did the math and saw if it was more or less efficient to have it versus like filling up a motorcycle, which is like dollars, you know, versus charging it at home. I don't know what the difference is on those. I didn't have it long enough to do the math, so I can't really say it's cheaper or more expensive. I will say that insurance on it was about the same as my Gixxer 600. I don't think it changed at all, to be honest with you. I think it stayed pretty much the same. So it's not necessarily cheaper in that regard either. A couple gallons of gas, you know, $4 or $5 will get you 100, 150, 200 miles depending on what vehicle you're on. Does it cost less than that to charge it at the house? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably very similar. Except one of them doesn't take fucking 5.5, 6 hours. Yo, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking... goddamn. Couple of young girls in a Jeep, whatever, man, young kids. I'm on the super wide angle lens, so when I go back and check the footage today, it's gonna look like they were a fucking like 10 miles away. And thankfully this bike brakes really good too. That's like another thing. It accelerates fast, it brakes fast, it's really strong. It's a strong bike, man. So like outside of the negativity on like recharge and you know, all this other shit, like it checks a lot of other boxes. But you're not going to be riding this bike to the canyons and going up and down the mountains all fucking day. It's not a rider's motorcycle. That's the truth of it. It's not a rider's bike. It's more of like a commuter's bike. You know, if you got to go to work and it's under 60 miles in range, you know, it's like 50, 45 miles in range to where you're going to work, and you got a place, you know, you're going to be there for 6 hours, 8 hours for the day. You plug that shit into the wall outside, or maybe your job's got a fast charger, you can park it there. You know, I think that's kind of more what this bike is going to be good for. So it's for bikes. It's the same thing when non-car people buy Teslas and they're like, well, it's, you know, it's so fast, it's so quick. It's the same people who just want the two-wheel experience. You know, you're gonna putz around town for a little bit. You're not gonna go very far. Maybe on a 20-mile ride at most. Come back home, charge it, or where you're going is gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be like a rider's motorcycle. I think it's going to be a while before we see a rider's motorcycle anyway. Now there's another company that makes a full-fledged street sport race bike it's like a single-sided swing arm. It's also got this like really cool cog system, and that bicycle is still there. That bicycle is still there. It was there yesterday, it's there today. We're on the home stretch here. I think we're going to make it. We're going to throw it in fast as fuck. Yeah, dang, brother. I tell you what, that sure gets my jimmies in a tussle there. Woo! I forget how quick this thing is, not in eco mode. Yikes! You got to be careful. Damn, we killed a lot of range in that short amount of time right there. Now we're down to 37 miles. We were in the 40s, mid 40s. AutoNation license plate covers is my biggest competition, dude. I see these drive pink AutoNation plate covers everywhere. Guys, let's be the #1 seller of plate covers in the US. All right, link in bio, link in description. Perfectplasma.co. Get your custom license plate covers right then and there. I know we're behind on orders, but do what you got to do. Get you an order in. Use coupon code DOITWITHDAN for 10% off the entire website. Hell yeah, brother. Raise hail, praise Dale. And I think most importantly, out of everything that I do miss the exhaust note. I do miss the fucking shifting gears. I miss all the shits, man. Z800, Z900, I like it. I miss the shifting gears. I miss the loud exhaust. I miss being able to pull in a clutch and rev. I do miss that. I didn't think I was gonna miss it. Like when I got rid of the Z01, or when I lost the Z01 and went to an automatic, that Corvette, I thought I was gonna miss that. I don't miss shifting gears in traffic. Motorcycles are different though. Motorcycles are really different. And to be honest, like, it's not like motorcycles are hard to ride in the terms of like shifting gears and all that other shit. Riding motorcycles is pretty much a universally easy experience unless you're disabled, you know? Oh, you see all these cool burnouts and whatnot? This is from the stunt show that they had at one of the open nights that they had recently. All right, I'm gonna pop this up here for them. Oh yeah. Well, we left the house the second time with 54 range, and now we've lit it with 34. So we killed 20 miles in about 15 miles. That's about what I expect. But man, that is it for this thing. That is the end of the road for the Zero. I enjoyed it while I had it, but the good news is, if you've seen the videos and you've had a change of heart like I did, it's up here at Wow Motorcycles for sale. Probably by the time this video releases, it might take a couple of days for them to, they have to run it through service, make sure it's all good to go for the next person. That's just how they do things. Doesn't matter if I had it for a day, they'd still run it through service. But I gotta say, it was fun. I enjoyed most aspects of it. I had a good time riding it. It's fast as hell, relatively easy and cheap to ride. It was so cheap I didn't notice the difference, kind of deal. I think the next person who gets it's gonna really like it. Well, it's time for me to go do a review and pick up my new bike, so be on the lookout for those two videos coming. The review is gonna be funny and the new bike's gonna be badass. So we'll see you in the next one. All right.